Hey everyone, welcome back to BDG Reviews, Night 15 of the 31 Days of Horror. What I'm watching tonight is a movie that, honestly, to be 100% truthful with you, I had no interest in this movie at all. And that is Late Night with the Devil. I had nothing about it seemed to appeal to me. Like, I saw the trailers and I was kind of like, okay, whatever. And I was just not enthusiastic about seeing it. And I couldn't have been more wrong. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was a blast. It harkens back to, like, the awesomeness that is, Ghost Watch. And, if you've watched my channel, if you've watched me over on Body Bags, you know my love for Ghost Watch. I adore that movie. So, essentially here, you got sort of the same thing, where it's like a late night talk show. And they got, essentially the ratings are kind of like going down the drain, and the guy wants to like save his show. So he gets like a medium that comes on. He gets, what else was it? Like this skeptic guy, and like this doctor and this girl. Now the girl's possessed, you know. It's all of it is just a recipe for disaster, and it is a disaster in such a beautiful way. Everything about this movie was fun. It had the 70s like late night aesthetic. When you see like old reruns of like Johnny Carson and stuff, you could feel this being there. And one thing I gotta say, and this is something I've talked about before, period correct hairstyles. It's something people don't do when they're doing a period set film. 90% of the time, you end up with some guy with like a 2000s haircut, and they just look out of place. In this, everyone had period correct haircuts, and it seems like, a bit of like, it's like, well, what are you talking about haircuts for? It's like the movie you're talking about. It's an element that unconsciously can take you out of a period piece. Like, you get like a movie set in like the 1800s, and you got some jackass with like, spiky hair and like frosted tips. You're not going to. It's going to take you out of it, even if the acting is good and everything else. So, to the people who made Late Night with the Devil, I'm applauding you for that, definitely. That is a little piece that just, if you imagine a movie as a boat, and every little issue is a hole in the boat, it's a hole that's usually overlooked. And, the producers and everyone in this movie, they have filled that hole perfectly. So this feels like something from the 70s, and I love it. The fact that it's also shot in full screen, I really appreciate that, because, nothing says 70s like a full frame. Just saying. For a rating, honestly, 9.5 out of 10. I really love this. My only gripe with it really is I feel it ended a little bit. It went on just a little bit too long. Like, the ending to Ghost Watch is perfect, where it ends and stuff's going on, like it's got to like the crescendo of what's going on, and then it ends. This kind of has like this afterwards thing where it's showing what's going on, like in the past and all this other stuff. I don't know. I felt that wasn't really necessary, and honestly, just from my personal thing, I could have done without that. You could have ended this right where, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but there's a scene where like all hell breaks loose. Cut it there and be like, this is the end of this, like, and leave everything else up to your imagination. I'd be fine with that. So yeah, 9.5 out of 10. Late Night with the Devil. Definitely recommend it. This is one I'm definitely going to be picking up on like DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, because physical media matters. And if you see a movie that you really enjoy and there's a physical release, it's kind of a no-brainer. So yeah. The next review you see should be for Terrifier 3. I'm hopefully, this is the problem with recording stuff a bit in advance. You don't really know where things fall. But it is what it is, right? So yeah, so the next 2 reviews after this should be Terrifier 3 and Nightmare on Elm Street theatrical experience. So, yeah. That's it for me. See you tomorrow.